Hi, I'm Jodelle. Welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about my biggest fail and why I'm smiling about it. So let's jump into it. So I have to start at the beginning here. Every year, I like to make a year-long goal. I like to have something that I need to work towards all year. And then the accumulation is either, well, usually it's hitting the goal. But in this case, I didn't. And it was heartbreaking for a while. So I decided to run for the advisory board. And to get on the board, you need to have other owners in your riding vote for you. When I had started thinking about wanting to run, I knew that I was going to be up against some really tough competition. There was one other gentleman, he was older, he was also running. He has about 20 years experience in the business, and he also ran in the last election. He lost in that one, but what it did was it allowed him to get his name out there and already have a leg up on building relationships with other owners. So I knew going in, I was already feeling anxiety and like I didn't belong, kind of like an imposter. So for me to stick my neck out there and decide to actually make this a goal was a big deal, and my heart was racing. I mean, I got all those feelings again as if I was about to jump off a cliff. It was thrilling and it was super scary, and it really made me feel alive. So even just deciding to do it, it really reignited that fire and that passion for doing something scary, doing something that you don't know how it's going to turn out. I wasn't going to be totally in control of the whole thing because I can't go and vote for everybody. So I could only do what I could do. I only could do what was in my power. So that was also a little bit scary for me because I usually like to be able to have my hand on every single step of the process of a goal. That was also interesting. It was something outside my wheelhouse and something really uncomfortable for me, which was really exciting. So when I started to do this run, one of the first things I did was to hop on a plane and go to these little towns where they were having their marketing meetings, just introduce myself, tell them my spiel. You know, I had a good story being in the business for 36 years, third gen. There was lots of information that I could share. So that was an investment on my part, not only of my time, but also of my money. I cold called over 40 owners, probably about 75% of the owners that were in the riding I actually reached out to. Some of them I didn't. I knew they were going to be a hard no, and I was already feeling insecure enough that I knew I didn't want to take on that challenge of people that I knew were 100% voting the other way. Maybe looking back on it now, I should have challenged myself that way. I could have learned a lot. Maybe I could have flipped some of those votes. Who knows? I strongly doubt it, but do I think it would have changed the outcome? No. I think that maybe I might have learned a lesson in there somewhere, maybe even just got a little stronger of a backbone. So that would be the only piece that I wish I could revisit, but you know, there's lots of opportunities ahead. So the thing with this goal was that there was actually a turning point for me. The reception I was getting from the people I was talking to gave me this sense of, holy shit, I could win this thing. And that gave me more confidence. The imposter syndrome that I've struggled with over the years totally vanished. So the vote happens and I get the phone call, and I've been so used to hearing, yes, congratulations, that when the call came and the person said, I'm sorry, you didn't win, the feeling that came over me was disbelief for a minute. And then I didn't really know what to say in the moment. I mumbled out something. I don't even know what I said, hung up and just kind of sat there for a little bit, and it was fine. I was just kind of like, okay, that's fine. You know, that was going to be a lot of work. I had the feeling like it kind of let me off the hook a little. So there was a sense of relief in there as well. But then a few minutes later, I burst into tears. I don't think I have ever put so much effort and so much of myself into something to then be rejected. And that's how it felt, right? They rejected me. They didn't like me. They didn't think I could do the job for them better than the other person could. And also, a lot of people probably didn't vote. And also, they liked me, but they liked him better. There's all different reasons. Who knows? At the end of the day, he won fair and square. He did a great job. He's been doing a great job. I'm actually really happy to have him as our advisory board leader. Maybe one day he'll pass the torch. We'll see. So a couple really great things came from this. What it did was it allowed my children to see me fail. It allowed them to see me work through the emotions, to be upset about it, be a little down, and that was okay. So they took me to a haunted house that night. It was right around Halloween. And so the four of us just had a really great time. We screamed, we laughed, and it totally brought me out of it. It let my family support me in a way that was, you know, sometimes a little different, right? As the mom, we tend to support and give a lot of the love. And so to be able to receive that and then give it to me and really pick me up, I mean, that was amazing. And it made me feel really good that my family rallied around me like that. So what are some of the other lessons that I learned? Well, I learned how to be way more confident. I got really good at telling my story and going up to people and just starting a conversation. I got really good at shaking hands, sticking my hand out, walking up to people. I mean, I had so much practice over that last year. It was awesome. It definitely taught me how to lose and what losing feels like in a spectacular way. way. And I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed to have to go back to a meeting, have everybody look at me and I think judge me. And maybe they did. And, I have no control over that. And that's okay. It was a really big piece of humble pie. And I'm really grateful for that. I gained a new friendship that I'm really excited about because we have so much in common. Our stories were so similar. And that was the benefit of me going out and sharing my story, was that I found other people that were in the same boat that I was. And we have shared experiences. So she gets me and I get her. And it's really great. Again, it's building that community. And the last piece about my epic fail was that somewhere along the line, I hope I inspired somebody. I hope I inspired somebody to try something different, to stick their neck out, whether they fail or succeed, whatever the case is. That end point of the goal, it almost doesn't matter what that is, because it really was the journey. It was making all these small behavior changes and decisions and really doing what I say I was going to do and having it for this whole year, working so hard because I gained all this skill. Just because the end result was a fail, it doesn't mean that this all wasn't a success. The best part about failing was that it let me create a new goal for the beginning of the new year, which was this year, which was YouTube. I decided that I wanted to do something outside of work, that I wanted to do something creative. And the only way that that would have happened for me, that I would have had the space and the time and the energy to do something like this, was to not have anything else on my plate. And being on the advisory board, it would have been massively a lot on my plate and so time consuming. I'm grateful for the skills that I built, but I'm also grateful that I didn't get it, because now I'm doing something that I'm super passionate about. I didn't know how much I was going to fall in love with YouTube. I love it. I made another channel. It was my learning channel. I have like 50 videos on it. My goal was to make a video a week for 1 year. And I made a year's worth of videos in my first 3 months. So I started a new channel and I'm reaching out and I'm trying to figure it all out. So it's been really exciting. It's been a great journey. I don't really care about what the end result is of the YouTube channel. What I want is to help people along the way and to also extol the lessons I've learned. What I said previously about mentorship is the person doing the mentoring gets probably more out of it than the person that's receiving it. As much as I'm here helping you, it also helps me. And so I just want to say thank you so much. If you made it this far into the video, right to the bitter end, then I truly am grateful that you're here, and thank you for listening to my story. And I would love to hear yours. I would love to hear about a time you failed and what the magic in that was for you and what it allowed you to do on the other side of that fail, because all it did for me was open another door. Thanks very much for watching. And if you liked what you saw, remember to sub if you love, and I will catch you in another video. Bye.